Greetings. Salutations. You dig me? We back another episode, man. It's your boy Mike to the P. One Mike Podcast. Let's rock. You heard? We back. We ain't heavy, baby. We ain't heavy. Fall in the room, man. Fall in the room. You heard? We vibe in the building. Gonna have a full support at quarters. You dig, my brother, the Lou. Come on now, he said pushing bars like Wiggy. You was giving bars out here on the last broadcast. Check those fellas out, man, every Tuesday and Friday. You dig on YouTube. Follow them right now. And Mr. Logical, you dig? Giving that good game up. Big me. I'm watching this. You definitely watch the show, you dig? I don't watch none that's not going to be educational or informative, but telling real truths about sports, you dig? On a high level, next level thinkers, you dig me? Get into it. Let's go. What up? It's your boy, Mike to the P. One Mike Podcast, man. Let's get right into it. Thursday Night Football on Prime. Man, old school AFC West showdown, you dig? Between the Broncos and the Chargers with huge playoff implications. You dig? You got the Denver Broncos who are 9-5. The Chargers are 8-6. Man, Bo Nix, I feel like is the Offensive Rookie of the Year, personally. He's been steady. He showed you in big games he can throw the football. Showed you on Monday Night Football he can throw the football deep. He showed you that he's a good passer. You did almost 3,000 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. You dig me? So Justin Herbert has had a better season. He's almost at the 300-yard mark too. 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Playing very safe football, but that's the best football for this team. I think you have Quentin Johnson that showed that he can stretch the defense. He can play receiver. They told you that he couldn't play receiver. It just show you when you don't have a good coach who cannot coach anybody that the players look bad. You bring Coach Kaki in there, and now Quentin Johnson can play. You additionally add, you add Ladd McConkey in from Georgia to that receiving core too. So Herbert's moving the ball down the field. Will Dissly's hurt. So I think the brother Stone is going to step up. What's the brother's name? Look this up today. Let me check their depth chart. I'm going to make sure I get that brother's name right. I got him on my fantasy team too, and I'm going to take the over for him. He's going to be part of our better today. Let's see here. They have a lot of injuries. Stone Smart, yeah. So we're going to go with Stone Smart. Hunter Hurst is still on IR too. But Will Dissly's going to be out for the night. He's out. J.K. Dobbins, of course, is still out. That brother can't stay healthy to save his life. You feel for that brother, man, because he's came back so many times from a lot of injuries. You dig? So Denzel Perryman is still going to be out as well. But yeah, I like Denver in this game, but I do like to go over Stone Smart. I think he got 3 catches. I think it's 2.5, 3 catches, or whatever his yards is. He's going to be the better today to go over. You dig me? So let me see here. Let's check Denver's report out to make sure that they don't have any major injuries I'm overlooking. Let's see here. I think Jaleel is going to be hurt too, that running back. Yeah. He's hurt. He's out indefinitely. So that means Javonte Williams will get the bulk of the carries. Again, their receiver core is wild. You do not know who's going to get the ball from week to week. It's that simple. So a lot of their numbers are very low, so man, but I got faith in that Denver defense. I think that they're locked down. They've been locked down all season. Riley Moss is out. He's been out for the past, I think 4 or 5 games. So But the thing as a unit, man, they play well on defense, and they're gonna force the Chargers to make plays in the passing game. They're gonna force them to make plays. So either Herbert's gonna have a really good game, and they're gonna win, because I think that's the only recipe for them to win. They're not gonna be able to run the football at all. I think Gus number is at like 34 yards rushing. So like they already the evaluators are saying, hey, we don't think they can run the football. I think they can at least get 30 yards, 34 yards. I mean, damn, that's literally you give him 14 carries on 3 yards of carry, he can get that. To me personally, but hey, I think it's gonna be an old school again AFC West defensive game. But again, we do not know what this NFL is wild, so they'll mess around. Might be a shootout. Who knows? But I got Denver tonight, man. I believe in Bo Nix. Said that since day one. Like the way he plays. I just like the way he commands the offense. I think he knows the offense. Sean Payton has opened up the playbook finally. And he can make the throws, man. Again, he's played a lot of football. So he's not going to sit up here and wow you with a bunch of throws like like a Peyton Manning or somebody like that, or Mahomes. But he's somebody that's very accurate. He can run. And they do a good job of getting him on the outside with the bootlegs, with the misdirection. He's a I'm not gonna say he's a dink and dunker, but he's somebody that can facilitate and he's very accurate. Like Brock Purdy. I like the fact that he's accurate and he can anticipate where the throw needs to be at and get it there immediately. That's the key to playing quarterback. Understanding who's on defense, understanding where your pressures come from, understanding where the alignment is so you can shift the offensive line, know where your check down is, know where the second, third read is going to be, and deliver the football effectively. That's quarterbacking. You can call that a game manager, whatever you want to call it. All this sit back and rock the baby to sleep and all that goofy shit, that shit is cool, but it's not going to sustain you to win games unless you Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid. That's the only time I've ever seen it happen. Other than that, I like a quarterback, as far as in the West Coast offense, who get the ball out quick, meticulous, know where the football need to go to, and get it there accurately. Not one hoppers and, throwing the ball at people's feet. That shit make me mad, yo. The check down be sitting there just waiting. Accurate throw. Get him the football so he can catch the ball and run. You don't want to sit up here and having a guy having to go behind us, the ball behind him. He like just trying to get the football. Like, nah, that's goofy. You did. But tonight should be a good one. Tune in. If you ain't got Prime, man, hey, I don't know what rock you're living under. You dig me? Next, man. Oh yeah, like I said, the bet of the day, the 15-4. Didn't have a bet of the day last week. I was at the actual Cowboy game, so Cowboys did win. Did not have a bet to put out there. So I just enjoyed myself. I tried to show out some footage from the game. Carolina has a beautiful stadium. The skyline was amazing. Cowboys did their thing. Rico played well. CeeDee Lamb is really fast in person. He's really quick. Like I said, Micah played well. Defense was stifling. Eric Kendricks was all over the field. Jordan Lewis had a couple of tip passes. Bland came back and played well. Diggs out for the year. So give a little Cowboy news too. Yeah, so I don't know. Who knows? I don't know why we keep trying to win, but hey, I will just play the young guys. I'm sitting everybody and try to get the best draft pick we can possibly get. But again, I don't think Jerry wants to win, so we're going to enjoy what we can enjoy. That's one thing about Cowboy fans. We're going to have a good time. It don't matter if our season is bad. It matters if our season good. We're doing this in spite of Jerry Jones. We're doing this in spite of the Jones family. You dig? We don't care about them at all. Only thing we care about is us. You dig? For shizzle dizzle, man. Our next segment, man, Black on Black News. Man, guys, this is some very disturbing shit about just to display. It's a couple of things I just want to get off my chest. We're in the holiday season. Most people don't know the origins a lot of time of American history. So I like to give, again, Black on Black News. Black news from a black man, you dig? And my perspective on what I believe to be fairly accurate. And again, you can do your homework. You can do your Googles or whatever you want to do. You can't go get a encyclopedia. So the information that you can receive is either through reading, either through books, either through the internet. Vet the things that you're reading on the internet. Make sure you're getting actual references, so you can go back to those references. Like Wikipedia is not a viable source. You have to go back and look at anybody can just upload some shit on Wikipedia. Like that's not a viable. So you have to go to a source that's a viable source that's some new information, because you have to weed through the bull jive. Like they'll tell you that the Jingle Bell song is a reference to the classical song back in the day with families, and the word jingle basically was just, hey, something they use. No, no, no. It has a very deeper meaning, as we often understand. Like, again, that song was written in 1850. Let me go ahead and let me share that screen real quick so y'all can see. You did this is stuff we had to really understand.
Open sleigh.
Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use,
Do
fair
y'all
use,
know the story of the
fair use.
original Jingle Bells and the one horse open sleigh
Well, man.
that y'all so called sing about during this time of the year?
And again, I love the Christmas. I love how let me not sound like I'm a understand what you're celebrating for one. That's what the only thing I can say. A holiday for me is for family, it's for giving, it's for, like me and my wife, like this year, we have, again, last year, I think we gave away 4 or 5 turkey dinners to feed people during Thanksgiving. This year, my wife had a great idea because she's really into helping young girls and helping older ladies with their hygiene and helping them to stay, improved in those areas because a lot of, in the field we work in, a lot of people go to these homes and then their family, doesn't look after them. So my wife had a great idea. I think she blessed 9 girls through our nonprofit this year with clothing, with toiletries, with different makeup, different lotions, all these things, cleaning bars and all those things like soap and stuff, just to make sure that 9 young ladies who are in situations where they can't do for themselves or help themselves in a situation they can't afford to go out and get those things, she was able to, with her mother and other women in that group, through our nonprofit, to facilitate those things for those young ladies, man, which is a blessing to sit back and say, wow, we actually, help somebody. That's the key. The holiday season is about helping somebody. But I'm a nerd. And I love to deep dive with things. I want to get into the crevices and what things really mean, and what these things. You have to understand the origin to understand what these things are trying to perpetuate to you. So I understand it's a pagan holiday. Again, I look at it for family. I look at it for giving and just being cheerful. None of that Santa. We're not doing none of the Santa Claus shit. Nah, that's not popping. You did none of that. But yeah, we gonna definitely get together as a family and eat and be merry. And I'm gonna listen to "In My Mind." Come on now, that's Silent Night. Yeah, you're not gonna stop listening to Silent Night. I'm sorry, bro. But understand the origins of Jingle Bells. Let my brother speak. You dig me?
Y'all see what's going on. Nothing but a representation of slavery. Stay woke, my people. Y'all here celebrating Merry Christmas, all in a good joy holiday.
Fair use, fair use.
Talking about jingle bells, but this the first time jingle bells were ever introduced on slaves. Y'all celebrating Christmas, talking about, oh, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's deeper than what y'all think. Stay woke. Do y'all know what it was to ride in the one horse open sleigh?
Mm.
That same sleigh that Santa Claus ride in. This that one horse open sleigh right here.
Mm-hmm.
That Santa Claus ride in to bring the gifts. But it wasn't no reindeers. It's the horse. The reindeers just come from the goat with the horns in the paganist holiday. That's where the reindeers come from. They even got more images of the sleighs. I even found some more images of the one horse open sleighs. Come to find out, they use this for entertainment. They was using it, and you see the black face with the red lips. They used to perform for entertainment and use the slaves for entertainment.
Yeah, like they would literally perform these. Again, it's about understanding history, man. Like they would perform this in minstrel shows, like it was a joke. Like them capturing slaves and them riding back on a one horse open sleigh to that's the bells on, they would place those bells on the slaves so when they tried to run away they could be heard. You dig? It's deeper than what you thinking it is, man. Like people just have to be just be understanding, be hip to what things are and what they perceive themselves to be, but they're really not. That's the thing that makes me so upset. Is like we are programmed to believe these things, and they're not. They're not even close to what um like the original version isn't the version we hear is not even the original version of it. That's the sad thing too. It's like they have a whole different perspective on what the original is, but we're not privy to that information. See, that's why you have to again look for the information yourself. You know, see here. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Let me see. Another video I had, man. Let's see here. It's ridiculous, yo.
As one horse open slaves, and they made it into a song, and they used to perform the songs on Broadway and stuff like that. 1846. Do your research. Play close attention. You see who riding the sleigh, and you see who in the back, and what that says right there. You should use it for entertainment. They thought it was funny. It's comedy. They said they used to sell blacks as comedy, as commodity. That's what the Post said. Look at it. Those are slaves though that Santa be bringing y'all gifts in. The same slaves that they used to have slaves in and make fun of us about. Yeah, that's where the jingle bells come from. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is to ride in a one horse open sleigh. How much fun is it to ride in a one horse open sleigh? Let's ask our ancestors, man. Y'all gotta stay woke and stop celebrating these paganist holidays. All the way from the mistletoes to the Christmas trees, to the elves, to Santa Claus, aka Satan Claus. Y'all gotta stay woke, man. Jesus didn't die on the cross for this.
Big facts, brother. Big facts. And you know, the person who wrote that, let me get the brother's name right. I think his name is James Pointnoy or something like that. His uncle, or I think of his cousin, is J.P. Morgan. The person that, you know, the insurance company, J.P. Morgan, that's still going around to this day. So think about, he was actually somebody that was a person who wanted slavery during the Civil War in the South. So when you giving that money to J.P. Morgan, understand that money might be going somewhere else, man. Understand you might be supporting private prisons. I watched a jump last night. I'm gonna bring that up too. Yeah, we gotta let that cook. Let me let that simmer. Let's do that right now. I think I saved that too. So it's a private prison that just closed recently because again they were doing inappropriate things to people. I told y'all this. It's slavery. They're doing things to people in these places, man, that are ungodly. So these places are getting shut down because you're in a situation where, you know, they don't care about the people that's there. They trying to just abuse them and make money. And the people that's in that area, it's their only stream of income. So they're losers, in my opinion, in my mind. You can't make any money doing anything else but this horrific things to people. You a loser, straight up. I don't have any sympathy for you. I don't care about you at all. You dig? Doing this to people that for no reason. You're just taking advantage of them and acting like you're doing it under some type of moral code or something. You ain't hitting on shit. You heard? Let me shoot a video. I know I had it up yesterday. I watched it last night. I was like, this is crazy, yo. This type of stuff I watch. I don't be watching no goofy shit. You dig? Yeah, here we go. No, hold on. Is this it? No. Prison of Columbia. That's not it. No. Give me a second. Hold on. Here we go. Private prisons that protect the profit. Here we go. Let's let this lady cook, man. Let's let this lady cook, though. Here we go. Here we go.
300 jobs with it. Jobs with starting salaries more than 4 times the minimum wage.
The area has been economically depressed for decades. That was a godsend to have that facility here.
The prison staff didn't have permission to talk to the press, but one guard agreed to speak with us anonymously. Do you come from a corrections background, or was this the first time you had done this kind of work?
It's the first time.
And were there a lot of people like that?
I would say the majority of the initial hiring. There aren't many jobs like this one.
What does that mean for you? I mean, are you going to have to change industries entirely?
I'll have to make a lot of changes
Mm-hmm.
across the board. Now you start at the bottom of the ladder again. Maybe in 10 or 12 years, you get back to where you are right now financially.
Along with the jobs, the prison gave $500,000 in tax revenue to the local school district.
So they do. So they do, y'all. The prisons will they give a fake incentive. Like, hey, we're helping you guys out. Hey, we're helping the state out. We're going to come here. That's how they sell it. Hey, we're going to partner with the U.S. Congress, and we're going to partner with this grant company, and we're going to partner with the states. And we're going to provide millions of dollars to help facilitate to grow the area so people don't have to come to prison. But that makes no sense when you make money off people. They're making $60 a day off people coming to prison. So why would they help the environment that they think is going to fuel and make money for their private prison? It makes no sense. Again, I always say follow the money.
District. These private prison companies, one of their sort of PR moves is they try and portray themselves as sort of saviors of these little towns. But if you look at a place like Phillipsburg, it still has a really high poverty rate. The city itself is constantly cash strapped. So it's not like these companies do enough to actually save these cities from the...
They do enough to keep you dependent. That's the goal of dependency. The U.S. government is saying where they want you dependent on them. And then until they get to a point, they say, you know what? We're not going to provide anything for you anymore. And that's where we are right now, y'all. Wake up and smell the coffee. I promise you, you need to be prepared. Again, I'm doing these things for a reason to bring awareness.
Underlying social and economic problems that afflict them, but they do just enough to make them dependent. Private prisons are a distinctly American invention and a product of the Reagan era.
Good evening. Usually I talk with you from my office in the West Wing of the White House, but tonight there's something special.
This piece of shit, Ronald Reagan, a piece of fucking shit, I tell you, boy. It's ridiculous, man. They create a war on drugs. They created these things, and then they invent private prisons to put you in. It's ridiculous, yo. Sickos.
Special to talk about.
This man was an actor before he became president. An actor.
While the war on drugs sent millions to prison, Reaganomics called for privatizing as much of government as possible. Enterprising men of business saw an opportunity.
Corrections Corporation of America was founded with one goal in mind: provide an innovative alternative to the administrative and budgetary constraints of the existing corrections and detention system.
Private prison companies say they do just...
Key word was budget. Those prisons didn't have enough money. They weren't making enough money to facilitate. So they have lack of resources. So they prioritize somebody who got money to come in, and then they can facilitate those things with nobody having checks and balances. Nobody's watching them to see if they're doing things properly because, again, they're private. And as long as they're getting their kickbacks, no matter how much money it really is, they're going to take the money. They're going to funnel it. Somebody's going to misuse it. They've been doing this since the beginning of time, fam.
Just as good a job at locking people up as the government does,
right.
Only they do it more cheaply and efficiently.
Right.
But critics say they only make a profit by cutting costs on basics like food and healthcare,
right.
that leads to abuse and neglect.
Right.
Today, the industry is worth more than $5 billion, but it's also in serious trouble. So when people talk about the private prison industry, they're really only talking about two companies, the Geo Group and CoreCivic. It's generally pretty hard to get information out of these companies directly, but luckily they're publicly traded, which means that they have to file paperwork with the federal government every year, and the story that they tell is not a very good one. Public opposition has become so strong that it's compromising their ability to function as businesses. For example, this is the Geo Group's latest annual report. In these reports, they have to outline the risks that they're facing. First, major policy changes threaten the company's bottom line, starting with President Biden ordering the DOJ not to renew any private prison contracts.
Biden for that one.
Then there's the company's debt, which has ballooned more than
But I think Biden did that because they want to make prisons more comfortable. They don't want these prisoners to be people that's being treated like bull jive. They are the cattle. They want them comfortable using iPads and being happy. And I'm in here with the homies and shit. Look at me. I'm in with my niggas and shit. Look at me. See me with my niggas. Man. We having a good time in here. Goofy. Game goofy. You dig? That's what they want you on them. They want you having no iPads. They want you in there chilling and comfortable playing video games because you were making them money every single day when you got out of them fields and work. That's the key they don't tell you about. They don't tell you about when they go on them fields and they have to work. You're going to work in prisons, dog. You got to pay to be in prison. That's what they don't tell you. Again, people I know who are there, I know these things. People I know who have came out and we've had dialogue and they told me these things. Picking strawberries, you did, working in factories for no money at all. So again, this is a trick bag, man. but they're making money while they're doing these things. They're making multi-million dollars. 2 companies they give you, 2 multi-million dollars, billionaires actually.
Fold in the last 10 years. At the same time, it's lost financing from several big banks and pension funds. So what does this all mean taken together? You have a company that's facing growing public opposition, rapidly losing contracts, ballooning debt. That's a downward spiral. The movement against private prisons gained traction alongside the larger movement against mass incarceration. One of its biggest victories came when it successfully pressured major banks to divest from the industry.
Right.
Morgan Simon is a part of that movement.
Okay, so this again, shout out to Morgan Simon. I will say about JP Morgan. If you are giving money to these people are taking that money that you put in the bank, because again, banks need your money to make this thing work. As soon as you get a bank your money, that's why you can't go to the bank and say, can I get $400,000 out now? They may have that money circulated to somebody else. They give somebody else a loan off your money. That's why 401k is a scam. They just tell you, we need you to match the money so they can that money that they're using, you put in there, they're using to create something else on the back end through a stock or some other type of option that they're using your money. So you have to be wise. You have to understand how these things work. If you don't understand those things, again, you have to read, you have to talk to people, you have to get into business and understand how the real world moves. You giving money to JP Morgan and they're giving that money to a private prison. That means you're funding a private prison, literally, and don't even know it. Because you're giving your money to people thinking that they're on a higher upper echelon level when they're really low lifes. They're really not shit at all.
She's an impact investor, meaning she helps people invest their money in ways that don't conflict with their values.
When you look at who the owners are of Geo Group and CoreCivic, the 2 largest are Vanguard and BlackRock.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of folks, that might mean that their retirement fund is somehow connected to those entities, and that a lot of us might own prisons without even knowing it.
Like I could have money from my 401k going to Geo Group or CoreCivic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's where sometimes when we're pushing on politicians to take actions, well, we need to look at ourselves too. And that could be as simple as just looking at, could I bank with a community bank or a credit union? Could I go to my HR director and say, hey, is there a social option that we could have on this retirement fund?
Right.
Last year,
they don't want you to ask no questions. Nobody reads that big ass package you get from HR. They don't read it. They just say, hey, sign it. Hey, put your money in here. We'll match it at 10% or 15%. Yeah, they're using that money for other things. So when you can't even go pull it out when you want to. That should show you it's a scam, bro. A lot of these things that people buy into on a social economic basis is a scam, bro. It's a shammy. Telling you it's crazy, yo. But that goes back to the whole premise, man. Stay out of jail, man. Real talk. Stay out of jail.
CoreCivic sued Simon for defamation, claiming she and her investment firm had misrepresented the company's practices.
Nah.
The suit was dismissed a few months later and is now under appeal. Why do you think CoreCivic sued you?
I think that the idea that it is okay to lock people up for profit is threatened by people like me.
Right.
Policy or money are kind of the 2 main levers that we have to make change. And I just chose the path of money.
CoreCivic and
She's doing her due diligence, man. She's doing a great job for the community. We appreciate people like that. Gotta stand on 10 toes. You dig me? But that leads us to our next jump, man, is again, bro. Follow the money, man. Follow the money. It's gonna be there.
Number of schools selling their.
Again, this is Mark Lasserie, former Bucks owner, talking about how they're now investing money into college football, college sports, college basketball, colleges, period, where they will buy. Again, I told people before, if somebody owns 50% or 51%, they now control everything when it comes to business. So if you do not own the majority in the stock, they will take you out of the company. Because again, when you invite people into the company, they buy into the company. It's a board there now. It's not just you anymore. It's not just you in the company. They have a 50% stake in it, and 9 out of 10, they're in a group of people. It's not just one person coming in and saying, "Hey, we're the luminous group of Chickahominy." Yeah, okay, it's 4 or 5 people in that group as well. So now there's a board. You know what they'll do? They'll vote you out. Hey, we don't like the direction where the company's going anymore. So yeah, we're gonna just, we're gonna vote you out of your own company that you say that you want us to buy into. And now you're not a part of the company anymore. Bye-bye. You don't own anything anymore. You're not making any money off it. That's how these big wigs do. So again, just stay 100% ownership. People hit you with that, oh, what's 100% of nothing? Man, shut up. You don't even understand business. Because you are so used to this listening to what people tell you, and you don't listen to people who have actually did these things and actually have been taken out of their own business. That business was to be actually for generational wealth, Jack. And it's not even about generational wealth, it's about maintaining wealth. That's another subject we'll get to one day. Maintaining the wealth that you already have and the businesses you already have. Stay at a certain point. Because at the end of the day, it's hard to stay on top forever. But if you used to have a maintain, when you're bringing in streams of income, that, when you're not even doing anything, that's the goal. The goal is to bring money in where you're not working. Listen to this, brother.
And the reason for that,
To whom?
Fair use.
like we're bidding on a couple teams, I can't tell you, but
cocky.
But in essence, what we would do is buy 51% of the team. And, I think if you look at a bunch of these programs, they're making 50, 100 million off of their football program, off of their basketball program.
Come on, man.
So it's a way for university.
And they was not even paying the players, dog. Look out. They've been doing this shit for so long. $100 million? And that's only what they're accounting for. They're not even giving you the whole real numbers. $100 million a year. And they was not going to try to pay the players, bro. You got to be a complete fool to stand with that shit. Man, the players deserve to get way more money than they deserve it. And the key word is the NIL jump. Now they're bringing in private investors to come in. Now they're going to be the ones paying for the NIL money. You better get a breakdown. It's crazy.
Cities, by the way, because under federal law, they've got to offer scholarships in all these different sports. My football program makes $100 million. We'll sell 50%. That's 50 million. Do a 10 multiple on that, 15 multiple. That's 750 million. That'll come for them to sort of fix different things at the university. So you're going to start seeing more of that. What the schools need is they need money for NIL.
Right.
But you can't go out and raise money for NIL because that's not a deduction. Right. So that if you're giving $1 million to Michigan,
like that kid AJ
wanted to go to the sports program.
Just got $7 million from BYU, Brigham Young University. On annual revenue, they're gonna surpass that easily. So that $7 million they gave that kid, it's not even gonna be anything. That probably came from a booster, probably came from, not necessarily directly from the university. That's the key, because you don't want to be caught up in, money laundering or trying to facilitate something that's not a part of the university. NIL is not directly coming from the college. That's what people don't understand. He's not coming from the college, it's coming from somebody who's partnering with the college. That's why they're bringing in private investors. Again, the Bucks' former owner, who realized, okay, now I can start getting my feet wet. Again, these are businesses for these people. This is not, oh, I love basketball. No, I'm doing this because I'm in business and I want to make money. That's it. That's the only alternative. He said, guys like us. Yeah, there's never no words if you have never noticed. Not, oh, this guy here or that. No, it's guys like us. He's the front guy. He's older, so they probably got other people that's in the background that's gonna be profiting the same way he is. So yeah, bro, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, Jack. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous, yo. Where the world is going to when it comes to finance, man. And again, I'm just bringing you the news. I want you to understand it. I want you to be able to digest it and understand, where we are. You dig? So I wasn't bring up the Tennessee State thing. I got to get more information on this Tennessee State thing because it's bothering me. Another HBCU that has went up in smoke, but I don't know all the facts. I don't want to accuse them of mismanaging funds because we always scream this HBCU shit, but people just keep mismanaging funds. They just got, I think $34 million from the fact that they were getting no money for one. The white colleges were getting way more money than the HBCUs. So now that they finally got the money, it's like, okay, in maybe 3 or 4 years, 5 years maybe, the money's gone and you in the red, 34 M's? Like, why are you paying your staff $800,000, man, on salary? Why are your staff members making that much money? What are they? They're not doing that much at the school. But that's where, again, the mismanagement of funds is. The directors are making way too much money. The staff members had to be laid off because, again, I'm not going to get into it, but I want to make sure I got all the facts. But it's insane. It's insane. They got audited and said they only had $5 million to spend for the year at the fiscal year at the start of the year, and then the state had to try to help them out with $43 million in Tennessee. I'm gonna get back to that one because we got to break that down against the glue, bro. For real. But that's been Black on Black news, man. You dig? Black news from a black man. Let's do our Black History Fact of the Day. You dig? We got a video today. I'm not gonna read. I'm gonna try to make these things more concise. You dig? So we get all the facts. You heard? Oh, pardon me.
First Black millionaire in Texas. McDonald was 40 when he moved to Fort Worth's Terrell.
William McDonald is our Black History Fact of the Day. William McDonald, the first millionaire in Texas. Shout out to Fort Worth. You're
Heights neighborhood. He built a 3-story house that looked exactly like the home of Nathan Forrest, the man who owned McDonald's father before the emancipation.
He deliberately designed a replica of Mr. Forrest's home for his home. And that was so wonderfully sarcastic.
Then he began building up the Black business district.
right.
He started by opening Fort.
This is what I want to do when I come into wealth. When I will be coming into wealth, you dig me? It will happen, and we will go ahead and build. This is what Black men should be doing every single day, building. That's why I don't praise celebrities or people that don't do anything for our community. All they do is talk and pass out book bags but a lot of this stuff is sponsored. They get a sponsor to pay for it. They're not paying for it out of pocket. We're gonna pass out turkeys like the drug dealers used to do in the 80s. That shit ain't never doing it for nobody. You gonna get somebody a cold turkey who don't even have an oven. Come on, man. Goofy shit we keep doing, dog. We keep doing the same replicated shit, thinking we giving back to the community. You're not doing shit. You're not building nothing.
Worth's first African-American owned bank. He bought and fixed up foreclosed homes, then rented or sold them to Black families.
Come on now.
He donated a building to the YMCA for minority kids. And he opened the Gym Hotel so Black travelers had a safe place to stay.
He literally built this empire of Black-owned businesses right there. When Black folks drove through that 2 or 3 block radius, they felt exceedingly proud.
Right.
William McDonald died on July 4th, 1950, at the age of 84. But he still had one last laugh in store.
Even posthumously, he is still poking people in the eye because he decided that his burial place would be in fairly close proximity to the Fort Worth chapter of the Ku Klux Klan. So again,
how is that even allowed? How are you even allowed to have a chapter of the Ku Klux Klan? It's crazy to me. But again, this is what America allows, man. They don't care. A known racist organization that wants to kill and pillage and has done to Black folks is still known and still going around to this day. They got car carriers out here to this day. You might be walking past one of them and don't even know it because they're cowards. They know they're not gonna turn up right now and do that. Yeah, they know what time it is. They'll get smoked for sure. Yep. But again, man, the brother William McDonald, man, first Black millionaire, in the state of Texas. To me, that's so inspiring. Again, that's why it's our Black History Fact of the day, man. We gotta make sure, bro, man. Our ancestors love us so much, and we're not doing nothing with it, bro. But letting these days just go by and go by and go by. Nobody building shit. Nobody putting their money up to try to do things for the community. But I will. You mark my words, I will. You dig? For shizzle dizzle. But yes, man, it's your boy Mike to the P, man. One Mike Podcast, man. Thank y'all for the love, subscribing. Haven't subscribed. Please subscribe now. Go on YouTube, man. One Mike Podcast. Thank y'all for the comments, likes, shares, love, man. This is good. It's about love, information. I'm give you the support and give you some good news, do some good betting advice. be informed, man. I want to inspire. And my goal is to do that. Have a little fun with it. We keep it raw, uncut, and feel good. We're not doing all this I like it raw. I like it raw. It's your boy Mike to the P, man. See you on the next one. You dig me? Love, peace, and